Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Jessica Carter, the Peaceful Billionaire here, saying hello, saying welcome. Super excited to be live with you this evening. Ooh, or with you if you're catching the replay. It's evening time. It's probably not the best time to be going live. Hey there, hey Opak. Probably not the best time to be going live. People are probably having dinner, getting settled in for the evening, but it's been an incredibly busy and fun day. I had several meetings and then had a little bit of time built in to prepare to have a special evening for my friend who's getting married. So since you're here, I'll show you. So my friend's getting married. So I had someone come to do henna for us for her wedding. And we just kept it simple with one hand. Hey Mo Rock, welcome, welcome. And so so I'm excited, right? So I'm excited about my henna. I'm excited about the, do you see? Isn't they fun? So I'm excited about my henna. This is the first time I've ever had it done. I'm super excited. And I am super excited for my friend's wedding on Thursday. I have some other surprises for her, but it was incredible because the girl who came to, you want henna now too, right? So the girl came to my house. I invited my friend over. The girl came to my house and she did it was this whole beautiful girl experience. It was super fun. So tonight I wanted to, you're going to crash the wedding. Hey, Alex. Hey, Alex. So what I wanted to chat about this evening a bit is everyone's, I'm kind of new to going live and everybody's getting to know me. So I wanted to talk to you this evening about the value and the power of your mind and why I think about it a little bit differently than a lot of people might think about it. And someone brought this up to me. I was doing a podcast interview week before last, and we're talking about the value and power of the mind. And I was talking about it. Hey, Alex, talk about it from my perspective, which I speak into the mind as it being a $27 billion asset with 27 billion kilowatts of power. And so my friend who was doing the podcast interview brought up Jim Quick and Jim Quick's book, Limitless, which is a great book. And I love Jim Quick and I love his work. But one of the things that's the slight perspective shift for me, and the reason that I speak into your mind as a $27 billion asset with 27 billion kilowatts of power, is your mind needs to be able to make something finite. So when you talk about the mind being limitless, right? And yes, your mind does have limitless. There are limitless possibilities available to you. And there are infinite opportunities in the world, right? And so while it is true, right, that your mind is limitless, the way your mind functions structurally and intellectually is your mind likes to be able to conceptualize things. And the mind can't conceptualize infinite or limitless. So when you talk about your mind being limitless, you're like, okay, well, yeah, that's true, but your brain isn't able to really compute what that means, right? And so when you give the mind an actual value, right? $27 billion, right? That's a big number. It's a lot of zeros. It's a lot of money. So when you think about your mind as a $27 billion asset, like that, now you can give something tangible. You can give a tangible value to, holy crap, like this is a really valuable asset. And then when you marry that with the fact that your mind is also, right, has 27 billion kilowatts of power available to you, like that is your personal power. When you conceptualize it in that way, now you really are able to step more into, right, the power and the power and the truth of who you are and show up in a really powerful way, right? So I talk about too, there's this clip from Warren Buffett, which I love, and he talks about some of the greatest things to invest in. And one of them is yourself, right? So when you think about investing in yourself, investing in your mind, investing in this $27 billion asset that you already own. So now you can understand how valuable it is to invest in yourself and invest in your mind and learn how to access that power. And it's fun to also share how that $27 billion came to be. There's always meaning. There's always meaning to my madness. And the meaning to the madness, when I was writing my first book, when I was writing The Peaceful Millionaire last year, this is what came through to me in regards to the value of the mind. Because again, I knew that in order for you to really, make it tangible, right? That's one of my superpowers, is making things that seem or feel very intangible tangible. And that comes from the background in neuroscience and the background in doing neurosurgery, right? Is being able to take things that might be a little woohoo, like out there and challenging to understand, and simplify it and make it easier to understand. And so when you think about, so the way I came up with that calculation, and I talk about this, so your mind is the most precious and valuable asset that you will ever own. Rare, unique, multifaceted, and multidimensional, like the world's most valuable gemstone. And currently, so I did some research when I was writing, because I am a research based. I'm super science nerd. Hey there, welcome. I'm super science nerd. Super science nerd, always have been. And so I did some research when I was writing my book, because I'm like, okay, well, what is the most valuable gemstone in the world? And currently, or at least at the time that I wrote my book, the most valuable gemstone in the world is the jaw-dropping blue diamond, which is valued at nearly $4 million per carat. And so the way I came up with the $27 billion calculation, so if you take a moment and imagine that your mind or your brain is worth $4 million per carat, and then you have to do a conversion, right? So on average, the human brain weighs about 3 pounds. And the weight of 3 pounds is approximately 6,800, so 6,800 carats. And that means that $4 million per carat, your mind would be worth $27 billion. So that's where that calculation came from, is this $27 billion asset that you already own. Right? This $27 billion asset that you already own. You'll hear me talk about it a lot. And also, I'm knocking off Henna. I have to be careful until tomorrow. I'm new to learning how all of this works, but apparently, so there's like the raised parts that will gently fall off, probably between like now and morning. And then it's best if I don't get it wet for at least 24 hours. So I have to be really careful with it. And I just hit it. But anyways, so you'll hear me talk about this $27 billion asset and the 27 billion kilowatts of power, right? That is how powerful you are, understanding that you are powerful beyond measure, but being able to give it a number of tapping into that value and that power and of what is already within you. And so I talk a lot oftentimes as well. Hey there, welcome. I talk a lot about also like ways to optimize your mind, right? So ways to optimize this $27 billion asset that you already own to make your success and your next level wealth absolutely inevitable. And so that's what I'm going to be doing over like the next couple of weeks. All of the lives that I do, I'm just going to be picking one of those ways to optimize your mind for inevitable next level success, peace, fulfillment, and making that inevitable. So there are actually small adjustments that you can make. And that's why I'm going to kind of give them to you one at a time. So you might want to take some notes. You can always like go back to the YouTube channel and like re-watch one or whatever, but implementing them is key, right? Implementing them is key. So knowledge is not power. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power, right? And so information without integration and implementation stays just that. It stays information. So I don't want you to have just information. I want you to have valuable tools that you can use, that you can implement into your life and make part of who you are, that optimize your mind, optimize and leverage this $27 billion asset you already own to make your success, that next level success, financial success, and anything else you choose to have, that you can make absolutely inevitable. And so that's what I'll be doing over the next next several lives over the rest of this week and next week, is getting into those tools to optimize your mind for inevitable success. So that'll be a lot of fun. And let's see, what else for this evening? Do I have anything else that I really wanted to kind of plant that background, because it is so much of who of how I talk about the mind. So I wanted you to have, a really clear understanding of why I speak into it in that way, and where that number came from. And so it's a lot of fun. And if you do ever want to catch any of the replays, all of the lives are housed on my YouTube channel. You can find that at The Peaceful Billionaire. And also on YouTube, you can catch the Peaceful Billionaire vlog, the Mission to Billions vlog. So that is a personal daily entry. My lives are Monday through Friday. My vlog is a personal daily entry behind the scenes, right? The behind the scenes of what it really takes internally and externally to really build and scale a multiple seven-figure business and beyond. So I'm going to continue to share my journey, the highs, the lows, and literally everything between, how I process things, how I approach things. And so there's also a lot of value to be taken away from that. So you're really kind of getting to see behind the scenes how I tick. But I also make sure that I throw in some valuable pearls, because just in general, how I process things tends to be a little bit different than most people. I don't know if that's the 10 years of neurosurgery, the neuroscience background, or if it's the fact that I was an only child and I spent a whole lot of time by myself with no one else. With no one else to talk to for much of my life. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't isolated or anything, but you're only child, and you spend a lot of time with yourself and within your own mind. And I can share that part of my story actually, is where this whole thing with the mind and the brain and success came from for me. So my fascination with the mind started when I was little. So I probably around 4 years old, I had a stint of childhood seizures. And that was when I first started to become fascinated with the mind. And when I look back, right, you can't connect, Steve Jobs, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. It makes so much sense of me starting that fascination with the mind when I was just a small child, ending up in neuroscience and a career in neurosurgery for 10 years. And then on my personal professional development journey, really ending up becoming a super specialist and maverick of the mind, and how things work and how to utilize that value and power that is already yours to create just unprecedented levels of success, unprecedented levels of wealth, and create anything else that you choose to have. And it is definitely my zone of genius, and I love it. But I remember early in my journey, it was not clear. So just so you know, right? Like the path, sometimes when you're newly on the path and you're starting to navigate, especially if you're, in those early times of becoming an entrepreneur, in those earlier times of my personal professional development journey, I did not have the clarity that I have now. I didn't see how all of the pieces fit together. I wasn't able to completely I knew that there was a connection as far as the neurosurgery, the neuroscience, and what else I was meant to do in the world, you know. And so now it became this, like, using the power and the value of this $27 billion asset that you already own, for wealth creation. Right, for wealth creation, for financial freedom. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about that in coming videos as well, which I'm super excited about. But I think we're about 15 minutes. I do my best to keep these sort of TED Talk style, not too long. That way it's digestible. I'm not taking too much out of your day. But if you're spending time with me, you are spending time at this really, really high frequency, this really, really billion dollar level frequency and energy. So this is a very powerful place and space to be. So anytime you need that boost of really being in this frequency, this is the space that I am holding for you and your success. Like, you are pure potential. Pure potential. Anything that is a dream, goal, or desire for you, you are absolutely meant to have that. Whatever that dream, goal, or desire is, it doesn't matter how big or small it is, you are meant to have that. You are meant to have that. And in fact, it's already yours, but it does take some effort and action on your part to make it so. But truly, anytime you want to be, you know, get some tools and some tips and just really be in this frequency and this energy, because this is the frequency, that the vibration, the energy that I always bring, which is a little bit insane. For if any of you have ever spent time with me outside of the camera, I'm pretty well the same all the time. I am positive almost to a fault, which I find to be a really great characteristic to have. But that's it. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to wrap it up for this evening and wish you the absolute best evening, sending you lots and lots of prosperity, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.